for those people who are suffering from the separation anxiety, right? I mean, and that's real. Mental health has, things are going to look different. Our way of life is different. We are never going to be like we were before COVID-19. You and those who went through Katrina, mentally, emotionally, probably was never the same after that. And so our way of life and the way that we do things now collectively is going to be different. And our kids, and the way they play with each other, you know, the school coming up, that's going to be different. This summer, which is right around the corner, is different. And that has affected us in so many ways. And in some of the ways, people don't want to admit it, but it has. It has. I watched a show last night, As We Rise. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
And they did the whole show by Zoom or whatever they did. That's the whole show.
Wow.
Was done just like we talking. Whole entire show. It was good. But we're different. We're different. And I believe we have an opportunity that's before us to embrace this different way, to actually come together, work together, and be what we know that we could be together, instead of being us, being outside of the boat and those in the boat, instead of those who are called thugs and the other ones called the patriots. It's time for us to come together and to work together and to be that dream that all of us so desperately want for ourselves and for our kids and their kids, for generations to come, for however long we have left on God's green earth. We have an opportunity. But I think sometimes we go back to people, to that selfish mentality where we just want to have the power over people. People can't function without a tier system, a status system. There's a book by Dr. Seuss, no, the Sneetches. And what happened, the people who was popular had this X or something that was on their belly, and they thought they were better than the ones that didn't have it. So one day, this guy come into town and disrupt the whole flow of that community. He started selling the X or the circle that goes on your belly to the ones who didn't have it. Now you got the ones who didn't have it, now they have it, and they look like the ones that always had it. So the ones that got it now don't want it because they don't feel unique. They don't feel better. So they go to the guy to have it removed. So the guy removes it, right? So you see what it's doing. So now they feel like they better again because they don't have it. So the other people come to the guy, he takes it off. So it keeps going back and forth until it gets so mixed up. Those who didn't have it and got it, and it got so jumbled up like scrambled, you couldn't say who was better and who was less because they was all equal. That's COVID-19.
Wow.
COVID-19 has come in and scrambling everybody's life because it is no respecter of person. Ain't that something?
Yes.
It's no respecter of person. Not your money, not your, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not your affiliation to a country
Yes.
club. It doesn't care
Yes.
at all. So now, that's what I'm saying. We got opportunity to just live in harmony. But there's always a group that don't want to see that. For whatever reason, they don't want to see that. What you think about that, man? I know I threw
that's
speeches at you.
man, yes. Very, very well said, man. I mean, hey, you're right. There's always going to be that group of people that always focused on their own individualism, their own quote unquote way of life, their own group of peoples that they want to be with and conjoin with, and that's it. And disharmony, if they have to create that for their own good and their own group who they choose to conjoin with and be amongst, then they'll create that. You know, because the mind is very powerful, and we mustn't forget that. I can get off the podcast with you now, and much as I've enjoyed our time together, and do something really out the ordinary of who I am, but because my mind thinketh it, then I can so do it if I choose to. But if it's going to be a detriment to myself and eventually my family, then what good is the price to do such a thing?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like some people, it's all about them, really. It's all about them and who I choose to be with. And if you're not down with that ideology, that frame of mind, that way of thinking, well, then guess what? You're going to be an outsider to me. Don't care what you say. Don't care what good you may mean to other people. If you ain't seeing it the way I see it and the way we see it as a group of people, well, then, so, and quite frankly speaking, man, there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Good grace and good conscience and a good well-doing. If we know we're trying to do something for the betterment of mankind, keeping in mind where we are from a spiritual perspective and keeping in mind where we are as individuals, and always knowing that we will always need each other to lean on to keep us safe and secure in the way we go about living our lives and to keep us focused. But then I don't see anything wrong with that as we go forward, man. I just don't see it. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. And I look forward to continuing this positive struggle, to continuing this fight for righteousness' sake, so that if we don't live to see a life, as you stated earlier, that is best, it could be better than what it is now, that legacy that we try to build and leave for not only our children, but children and people across the world as they go forth, well, then I think that we've done our part as human beings.
Yeah.